We were tasked with the job on the Zr2, make it a race truck. We might have 50% more capacity, capable of taking up to 40,000 pounds. Race conditions, everything that an enthusiast would do with it.
Everything but rolling, huh?
Everything but rolling. But there's no welding. Watch your head, watch your head.
Thank you.
There you go. Nothing went on this truck that didn't earn its way on.
Yeah.
And that's our goal, right? Is better, 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 better. And that's why the big reason GM races, right? We race to get better.
Yeah.
Hey YouTube, how's it going? Thanks for watching and thanks for coming back. We got a very special video for you guys today. We got to follow around the Chevrolet Performance race team at the Mint 400, and it started as just shadowing them, and it turned into them really showing you guys behind the curtain, that you guys see everything that GM does, how far they go to validate these parts, to test these off-road parts for you guys. And it's awesome. We got a long form interview with Tom. He's a group manager, he's an engineer. He'll introduce himself later on. So enjoy the video, but grab a notepad because there's going to be some very coveted information here.
I think that's, I don't know if anyone's gonna sit through this. I mean, a super fan will. I got the Zr2s.
Come on, man. Yeah, that's good.
You like my person?
That's good. I like it.
You want your hat?
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
There it is. It's your hair. Look good. All right.
Tom Gierman. I'm the engineering group manager for General Motors, doing off-road performance integration in motorsports.
Oh, yeah, all right. So you're the one that knows all the stuff that we want to know and no one could ever find out, huh?
We were tasked with the job on the Zr2, make it a race truck.
So did you guys just build up on the Colorado, or when the Colorado was built, there was already room left in there for the Zr2?
Now, the Zr2 is a specific framed vehicle based on the diesel motor of the Colorado.
All right.
It's modified from that even in a few areas. So Zr2s do have an independent frame. And then the suspension was built specific for this vehicle, and wider track, right, front and rear. So
Yeah.
same base axle, wider tubes, different axles, all new control arms in the front. Of course, industry first Multimatic DSSV dampers put on this vehicle, and the first time that the DSSV dampers have transitioned out from on-road motorsports to off-road motorsports.
Awesome. Yeah, I was able to ride in this one yesterday.
Yep.
And I noticed from the catalog it only advertises 15% more travel, but it doesn't feel like just 15%. It was a world of difference from the standard.
So there's a difference between travel and capacity.
All right.
Right. And so while we have 15% more travel, you could, make the calculation that we might have 50% more capacity.
Oh, wow.
And then the capacity really comes from the addition of the jounce shocks that are on the vehicle. Instead of a jounce bumper or a bump stop, as more normally termed in our enthusiast market, is we have a jounce shock. So it's a nitrogen charged hydraulic oil filled damper.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Capable of taking up to 40,000 pounds. So the front ones, same company and same build and everything. It's just that the fronts are 1.5 inches and the rears are 3 inches.
All right.
The tunes are obviously different between the two.
Yeah.
So there's a multiple bypass port in the rear where the front only has one. Like I said, the tune is a little bit different, so there's a little bit different nitrogen charge, a little bit just different hydraulic fill in each of them, but
Awesome.
other than the biggest difference is just one's 1.5 inches and one's 3
Yeah,
inches.
yeah. I really like the setup. I wanted to do this to our ZR2.
Yep.
The cage for me would come later on.
Yeah, cage. Yeah, if you're going to get serious, that's what you need, a cage, right? Safety. Because we want to, even with this truck, right? We want a donor truck to essentially find the limits. We don't want to find the limits at the Mint 400 or Vegas to Reno or any Best in the Desert race, right? We want to be confident that when we give a product to Chad, that it's going to make the race at the way he drives it, which is a production truck.
Yeah, well, you guys did a good job. I could tell you, we should have totaled ours around 2 or 3 times, and it came out unscathed. It drove home straight. It's something that should have bent the frame.
Yes, trust me, we've all seen the video.
Oh shit! Well, I didn't know. I never wanted to assume. But yeah, that thing's a beast. It's a monster. Yeah,
I won't say that we didn't chuckle when we saw it.
Well, actually, some of the the fender got misaligned from the hood or whatever.
Yeah.
Just by messing with the adjustments under the hood, I was able to line everything back up. So I thought something was tweaked, but no, it's all fine.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you guys stuck with the stock rear end on this?
Rear axle?
Yeah.
Really, that's our goal, right? We want to race what we sell.
Yeah, I was real impressed by that. The brakes. They said that was running stock brakes.
Stock
too?
brakes. Stock brakes, stock motor. The only thing we do with the motor is we run our performance intake and our performance exhaust, which is an LPO, which is a dealer installed option.
All right.
So you can get it as an accessory, which is an after sale. So if you already own your ZR2 and you want to go get the GM performance exhaust and GM performance intake, you go to your dealer, give them the part number, they'll sell you those and you can install them.
Well, I believe it's an option now too, like if you're speccing it out online.
Yeah, it's LPO. So an LPO is a check the box when you order your truck, and the dealer will install it.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's not installed at the factory, transparent to the customer. It'll show up at the dealership when your truck does, and then they'll make the transfer.
So no warranty. What about if somebody installs it aftermarket? What, do you know any
so intake exhaust, right?
Yeah.
So full warranty. LPO 3, it's the same warranty as the vehicle.
Even if they pick it up and add it after?
Accessory, I believe it's the same warranty, but it is warranty. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
If your dealer installs it, then I believe it's the full warranty. If you install it yourself, then I think it reverts to a 12-month manufacturer defect warranty.
Oh, all right. Yeah. And what about all the long travel suspension components? Are those all warranted, or?
We consider those off-road use.
Yeah.
So if you were to, put our rear leaf spring on, for instance, then that would you would have a manufacturer defect warranty for the leaf spring, but it's going to be limited in nature even then.
Yeah.
So, between abuse and a real manufacturer defect, and then but the rear suspension warranty on your truck would then be voided.
All right.
So it's no different than any aftermarket part, right? If you were to get an aftermarket leaf spring from X manufacturer, you would do the same exact thing. If you went to your dealership and said, hey, my axle broke, right?
Yeah, well, every dealer's different. Like some of they install mods on there, they'll still warranty it.
Right.
It's just your relationship with your dealer.
Yeah, and that is your arrangement with the dealer, right? He's really taking responsibility at that point.
Like to people that want to start building it in stages, that don't have the money to throw it all up.
Yep.
I think the rear is what would benefit the most. Am I wrong in that, or is there a starting point you would recommend?
It depends on what your use is, right? So we have a stage kit, kind of broken up into stages. Ours starts more in the front and works to the back, where you do more of a leveling kit for the front.
Yeah.
So the rear, the great thing about the rear leaf spring, right, though, is that it is a single rate leaf. So it's just transitional. You're not going to ever run into the overload leaf from a hit perspective.
All right.
It does give you more carrying capacity. So you'll notice in our copy in our performance catalog that we'll say, I think the comment is requires a normal off-road load.
Yeah.
So it's based on somewhere between the weight of a stock ZR2 and our race truck. So we run the same leaf spring between the two.
All right. Oh, wow.
And so if you put it on your stock ZR2 with no weight in the back, you're going to see an increased ride attitude. It needs that weight that you're going to, if you pack up to go down to run some trails in Baja or something, well, you're going to take stuff with you.
Gear, tires, everything.
So if you strap all that down securely, you can run with that load.
When we plan runs, we take enough tools for everybody else as well. I mean, one breaks down, your whole group is done.
Right.
And yeah, even in stock, it handles really well with a couple 100 pounds in the back.
Yeah. So this spring is made for that. So like in Chad's truck, our 7330 truck here, right, it carries 2 rear spare tires, all the tools, 45 gallons of fuel at the tailgate. Nice. So do the math on that. That's like 250 pounds just of fuel, not including the tank. Right? And then there's obviously tools, fluids, everything else that goes with that. So there's a lot of weight in there, and that leaf spring has survived every race.
Yeah. Well, I actually asked yesterday. I wanted to do the rear leaves. I could preserve the normal brake lines, and they said and they told me to just eliminate the overload leaf. Would you recommend that, or?
Well, the overload leaf doesn't come with the leaf spring.
Oh, okay, that's what you're just saying.
Yeah. So when you get the leaf spring package, what you're going to get is all the fasteners, all GM fasteners, instruction sheet, obviously how to put it on, and the leaf springs, rear shackles, U-bolts. You get every fasteners to do the kit.
Yeah. When I was looking at it under them yesterday, like, dude, you could do this in a garage. Like, you don't need to go chop it up somewhere. That's pretty awesome.
So every kit that we did with this is a bolt-on kit. So the worst thing that you do is when you put the jout shocks on, you have to grind off the existing jout shock bracketry, which again, we'll tell you in the instruction sheet how to do that. But there's no welding. Everything bolts on. You can make it drill holes, bolt on, grind off, and that's the extent of the kit.
How much did it change or preserve or improve the geometry?
Geometry remains the same. Really, the biggest change in the front suspension, right, is we gave it, I think, on the order of 20 millimeters more lift than a stock Zr2.
All right.
Even though we're running coilover DSSV dampers, a little bit of lift. We did come up with a new designed upper control arm. So it uses the stock upper control arm casting. It's the push-in ball joint is a high-angle ball joint now. Watch your head, watch your head.
Thank you.
There you go.
My hero.
Well, that's one for today. So that half shaft is actually a put-together shaft, obviously, that we did with GKN, and it's it's a sliding ball spline, which is one of the trickiest pieces in it. So you don't have the load on the inside joint; it all goes into the splines of the half shaft. Allows us to run full articulation of all the angles all the time. Or if you're plunging, you start on the inner joint, you start limiting how much angle you get because the shaft's moving inside of a housing.
Yeah.
Well, now the inner joint and outer joint are fixed and the spline is sliding, so you always get to keep full articulation.
And you have full steering throughout the whole suspension cycle?
Yep. And then the off-road multimatic shocks that we run are based on the Zr2 production shocks, right? That's probably one of the trickiest pieces in the truck.
Yeah.
In that it uses the housing for the Zr2.
Oh, all right.
But the rest of the shock is custom.
All right.
So the rods, I think, on the stock trucks are 14 millimeters. So we run an 18 millimeter shaft in the front, 16 in the rear, nitrile seals. Mobil One is an integral partner, right? We not only run all the fluids in the vehicle from differentials, engine, transmission.
For those shocks, are the spool valves the same as the stock shocks, or they're different? Yeah.
No, we're they had to make a little bit of new library for us.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why you get more than advertised 15%.
Right. Yeah. So it has a lot of damping force. It's probably, getting in the order of double the damping force on the jout side and rebound side that we see in this shock compared to a stock Zr2.
Wow.
So one of the other things we do, I'll tell you, is that on the leaf spring, right, we have leaf spring perches that they sit on. So they're like a taper design where you look at our stock and it's flat. It's about 5 inches long or so, and the leaf spring bends around that flat piece. Well, this has what we call a taper design to it. So we have a very short flat section with essentially beaver tails at each end, and that's so the spring, when it goes into jounce, can wrap around that, and it also helps from just a free length of the main leaf. So every inch of free length that you get out of that, or non-clamped portion, free length of the leaf spring, increases the amount of travel you get with it, reduces stresses.
What's that do to S-spline?
For axle wrap?
Yeah.
So one of the interesting things with axle wrap on this is we run an anti-wrap line, right?
Yeah.
So that helps in the extreme conditions and at the ends of travel to keep us from getting that condition. The other thing we've done with the leaf spring is we have bumpers on it essentially that tie the six-pack leaf spring together to help reduce that as well. So it acts more as a continuous bar.
Yeah, because most kits, you got to piece together kits. Like you'll get whatever leaves from another manufacturer. There's nothing that's all one complete kit.
And that's what we sell, the complete kit, right? If you buy all the 13 or 14 kits that we have, we could have sold it all as one kit, right?
Yeah.
But you can go on the internet and add it up, and it's a substantial amount of money, right? And that's one of the reasons that we a la carted it, because you can attack it the way you want to attack it. We make recommendations, like if you put a front end lift kit in, right?
Yeah.
We recommend a U-buy or GKN half shaft. Now that will give you the best performance.
Well, I mean, they're true performance parts. They're not just aesthetics.
It's a good statement there, because nothing went on this truck that didn't earn its way on.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
We had other stuff on there that was a little bit more fluffy and eye-catchy and that. So in 2016, September, October-ish is when I first put a line on the computer screen on it. And then we had our first development trip with the white truck, the infamous white truck.
Yeah.
That's how we just refer to it internally, even just the white truck. That the first inaugural trip was April-ish, May-ish, early May, late April, 2017.
Wow.
We raced Vegas to Reno August of 2017.
Wow.
So
Less
Brian
than a
Cadell and I,
year,
we did a lot of the work on engineering work on it, and there was a team back at GM too that helped with it. Obviously, it's one of those deals where it can't fail.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
So 21 hours of And since then it's finished every mile of every race it's been in, right? All the parts. So most of the parts, we switched out the parts early last year with our production intent ones built by our production suppliers. Those parts are still on there. The other thing that we have on the truck, right, is probably more of a mobility or rock crawling kind of thing, is we run the steel drive shaft. Right? It's a simple upgrade for everybody, pretty cost effective. I think it's MSRPs for $500 or something like that.
All right.
So you'll look at some of our, like the white truck, we've had it at Moab and in a bunch of other like rock crawl conditions. And we have some grooves going down it where it's spinning on rocks.
Yeah.
But the steel one's just a protection against that, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Doesn't lower your speed limit, doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't hamper performance at all?
No, it doesn't hamper performance at all.
When I was looking at the parts catalog, is there a better bang for your buck upgrade that you guys have on there than the sleeves that go over the tie rods to strengthen them?
No. Again, this is one of those things that has to earn its way in, right?
Yeah.
I think we've been pretty successful at it, and it's been a great program for GM, and we've learned a lot from it internally. And that's our goal, right? Is race what we sell, learn what we race on, pass those learnings on inside the big machine, right? So change the criteria if necessary, implement changes if we can, where it makes sense, right? And the next truck will be better.
Yeah.
And that's our goal, right? Is better. And that's why the big reason GM races, right? We race to get better.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, from what I've seen, what we've seen, crawling, trails, hardcore, like fast desert running, I think you guys are right on the ball, like selling the kits like that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to upgrade stuff on it, but everything I look at, I consider doing it, and not even considering budget, I realize I'm going to ruin the vehicle. It's perfectly balanced. It's awesome. And you just don't have the time to be researching and engineering. You might as well take it to a custom fabricator to make it better.
Well,
so the kit is nice.
And the custom fabricators are great, right? And they'll make you good pieces.
They're going to chop it up, though.
But they don't know the dynamics of the truck like we know it, right? We work with the guys that develop the trucks, right? So we have the people that have started this thing and stood in front of chief engineers and sold it, right? Now we're racing developing the parts for it. One of the things we sell is a body lift kit for the Chad runs solid mounts because he has a roll cage, but we in our white truck run our own body lift kit that we sell, right? And it's even the rear leaf spring on this, right? What you'll notice is if you look at your Zr2 and then from the side, just take a side shot of it, look at this Zr2 or the white truck Zr2, and you'll notice that the rear tire is further back in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
Because the leaf spring is longer.
Oh, all right.
So a couple reasons we did that. One was it gives us, like we talked about before, the stress of the leaf spring with the travel. Longer the leaf spring, whether it's clamped or unclamped, the better you are. So that's why we increase as much as we could. That's why we run the different shackle for housing cover. The thing that allows us to do is it gives us a mounting surface for the anti-wrap link.
All right.
So that's what mounts our rear mount for our anti-wrap link bar.
Yeah, because that's one of the items that's recommended to buy if you buy the other ones. But you can buy just that on its own too.
Yeah. So for instance, if you're going to buy a rear leaf spring, right? Do you need the anti-wrap link? No.
I'd want one.
You'd want one, but do you need one? No. If you're going to go racing, do you need one? No. We've run several races without it, part of our validation process, right? But does it help at the extremes? Yes.
Yeah.
So is it a race part? Absolutely, it's a race part, right? Will an enthusiast get a use out of it? Yes, but it's more geared again towards this racing environment, right? So buy a rear end cover. Looks good. Get the Chevy Performance logo on it. Looks great. It's just one of those kind of eye candy pieces at some point, but it does for us, right? Again, earn your way in. Yeah. It serves us a big purpose carrying our anti-wrap link. I just looking at the truck as we keep driving along, right, with the part time. But right now, like this, right, we're running AAV Bison wheels, right? Yeah. We run AAV Bison rear bumper. The wheels obviously will go on a Zr2, but all the skid plates from the Bison, the front one obviously different front end, so that won't. You have to keep running the Zr2, but the one you were talking about, like the under motor piece, fuel tank, skid plate, rear differential skid plate that's on this truck. Those are all Bison parts that are directly able to go on your Zr2, and they're for sale as LPOs for your Zr2 now that Bison's on sale.
Oh, all right.
So if you needed a good fuel tank skid plate, right? So you can buy the Bison piece, put it on your Zr2.
Oh, all right, awesome.
Yep. So.
And yeah, you can also get all the boron steel ones, right?
Yeah, the fuel tank one is not, because that's more of a rock throw protector than a
Okay.
skid plate, because you can't take the weight. But the fuel tank is protected by the frame, so really what you need is just a shield, not a skid plate per se.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you guys doing a run Saturday morning is what I hear?
Yeah, are you gonna be on it? Are you gonna go?
We're gonna try to. I don't know if we're gonna do all of it, but we want to go with the white truck. And it's me and maybe Seth or Mark or somebody's gonna go. But we want to go out and participate in that as much as we can. So I don't know how many miles it's gonna be, or
It's about 100 miles, but we already got it mapped out where it's good points to turn around.
Yep.
The group's probably gonna stop somewhere before that, so I'd probably take you guys, just to make it worth your visit, take you guys back, and then when you guys watch it, you guys just watch the clock. When you got to go back, I'll lead you guys back.
Yeah.
And then I'll meet up with the rest of the group.
Okay. Yeah.
But you guys can get ahead of me and fly.
Yeah, we'll be all right. I mean, we're not there to beat anybody. We just want to participate, right, and get some more miles on our vehicle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. We're honored to be able to share this content with you and show just how far Chevrolet Performance has gone to bring these products to market. Our next video in this series will show you just how much they support and respect the off-road community. They truly believe and advocate the keep it dirty mentality and plan to keep developing better vehicles and components for anyone from the weekend off-roaders to a full race team and everyone in between. And we got to give a huge thanks to everyone involved in this program, everyone from the race team to the engineers to the developers, and Justin for hooking it up. He's a fellow Zr2 owner and knew firsthand how to get you guys the special content that we've all been waiting for on these components. I'm going to put a link to Chevrolet Performance so you guys can follow him on Instagram. I'll also put a link to the Performance Parts catalog so you guys can call up your dealer, get the part number, and order the parts yourself. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like everybody, and please share this video with anybody that you know that's in the market for any of these vehicles or components. And be sure to email us at jerkstoleourname@gmail.com if you need any help or assistance finding the best price for a ZR2 in your area. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, no matter what you drive, no matter how you drive or where you drive, keep it dirty, keep it on the trail, keep getting better, and keep improving your vehicle.